Hey there, here we are on 6. That's the restoration YouTube video number 6. Tim, Andy, and Bret are getting ready to dump off the gearbox, which is a pretty easy thing to do with manpower. The engine has to be done with a hoist, of course, but at this point, Bret's already got, as you remember from taking the suspension off, taking the axles out, which gives clearance for the drive flange. Otherwise, you'd need 7 guys to lift all the pieces out of the way. So we've lifted up a little. The transmission is on a jack and the motor's already jacked up. So it can clear as it comes out. You can see it's a pretty simple job once all the hardware's done, but it has to manually be lifted over this back tube. We'll do this in this first part of 5, and we'll continue 5 with the fuel cells and a couple other parts in the restoration on the teardown of this car. You can see now it's just manhandled. Everyone switches their grip. Yeah, just flip it sideways. Nothing will come out. Again, if this were a race, this is how it'd be done in the race. It's magnesium. It's a 4-speed. They built 4 and 5 speeds. This is the second series 917/20 gearbox. Pretty simple. Same thing as all the Porsche. It's a synchronous transmission, so you could drive it on the street. It's not a dog ring, so you have to clunk and double clutch it. It's a shifting transmission just like any street Porsche, which is really great, which is why you see a lot of these cars being driven on the street. Anyway, we'll go to the fuel tanks next as Bret takes those out, so we'll continue this. And I'm supposed to have another hat after lunch today being shipped in from Autocar Jacobs, so we'll give you the 10-4 on that, Autocar. So here we are, continuation of the transmission removal. You can see this is the side shifter. Again, it's magnesium. This is the lever that goes between the gates. This has to be removed to get it out of the chassis. You can see how big it would be. So that would have to come out, but a very unique part and a super trick. It's got the little springs and balls in to make the gates to where they line up, and it's got various adjustments. So it's a well thought out engineered part. Now the fuel tanks have come out already. Bret's got the right side or the driver's side out, and it appears that it's just a tank. There's no, as gas comes out, there's a little bit in there. It's not a fuel cell, so these would have to be updated anyway for us to race currently. So we'll make the fuel cells as Porsche did. Now you can come over on the other side and see Bret removing the other tank. Now the last bit is removing that belt, and as we've discovered, the right side had a belt too. We can see what size the belt is because they are complete and whole. And maybe it'll give us an idea who actually used the belt. A little friendly persuasion always gets at the last stage of removal. I'll come into the frame here. You can see it dropped out, but here's the belt from the other side. When I said it was a belt, it's not just a piece of leather. It is a belt, and this was made for a rather big man, which I'm not, and neither is Bret. But anyway, you can zoom in over here and see how nice this little tank fits underneath the side pod or the side frame of the chassis. Again, here's the other belt underneath. And out it comes. Well, I guess we didn't get all the fuel out. Anyway, you get a gist of the fuel cells or the fuel tanks. They do need to be updated, and we'll give these to the Smithsonian for a proper way of holding a fuel tank in. These will get metal straps. The original tank had metal straps. Not that this won't do. This belt will work and did work fine. So don't think we're knocking the guy who used it. It was very ingenious, but maybe not, exactly what you'd want. Anyway, we'll get to 6 later on for other parts, but for now, we've got the fuel tanks out, and Bret will go ahead and take the steering rack and the steering column and all the rest of the goodies up front, and then we'll pull the engine out. That'll be a good one. Cheers!